Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk about a movie that was done in 1951, science fiction film based on the 1933 novel co-written by Philip Gordon Wylie and Edward Balmer. The film was a shot in Technicolor, directed by Rudolph Matt, and was the winner of the 1951 Academy Awards for Special Effects. And that is a excellent movie. It kind of goes along with Deep Impact and other movies talking about the red dwarf coming this way. I see this is all these movies are made. They knew about this thing coming for a long, long time. I believe they knew it back in the 30s. They started to realize, somebody was realizing that there was something coming towards the solar system. You got people like Zachariah Stitchin, who wrote the 12th Planet, which I'm in the middle of reading, which basically says that there's a planet coming up from the south. And, well, what this does is tell you that a 3,600-year orbit of this, well, dwarf star, brown dwarf, if you want to call it that. I believe it's more red dwarf, because when you get close up to it, it's red in color. And as there are several talk shows on the internet radio that they're talking about this star. There's one guy who refused, he's called Arizona, was talking about it, that he was watching it when he was at a aerospace place, like Boeing or something, and they were watching it live in the, I guess it was the 2000s, early 2000s, that they were watching it live off a Hubble telescope. There was a NASA link, then they shut the link off. And he said this thing was coming up there, and he said at first it was in a distance, and by the time they shut it off, it was like across the street looking. And he said it had red cloud around it of iron ore gases coming off of it. It had 1,000-mile asteroids orbiting close to it, and there were planets around it. Basically, it's Nibiru, or Nibiru, I like to call it. I don't know where they get Nibiru. I mean, maybe it's Nibiru. But it's coming in, and this thing is now real close. And I think Comet Elenin is probably one of its outer orbiting stars. The blue Kuchera, or whatever the Hopis were calling, was coming in first. And then after it, the big red star. Basically, these two, no, it's like Pluto to the star, and it comes in first, and then once it passed by, but it's not like as wide as the orbits around our great sun in the sky that has Pluto several AUs away. This is a lot closer to it, but yet this is the outskirts of the orbiting planets, and this one's coming through first. And it's going to swipe past us here in around September or so, August, well, September actually, and October, as it comes through. And right after it comes Nibiru's star. And, well, then you got Hoagland thinking it's like the rendezvous of Rama, written by Arthur C. Clarke. And it's maybe because it did change courses. Alien has been changing courses on its own. It's just kind of strange. Maybe it is a alien force coming this way. I don't know. Offhand myself, I haven't even been able to find Alien, because now Alien's in the sun. So you can't actually find Alien until about a month from now. It'll come out in the morning sky, because it's supposedly in Leo, at the front of Leo's star Regulus, and so you'll have to wait until it gets ahead of the sun in the morning sky in about a month, which will be about September. It will start coming up before the sun does, and then you'll start to see this thing. It's like it was when worlds collide. It's going to come ahead of it. I'm going to show you something here, but right now I got to show this, and that's the fair use notice. This is for YouTube. Okay, I showed the fair use notice, YouTube. See it, read it, understand it. I'm going to show excerpts from this movie, and it's very much like Deep Impact and the rest of the movies, 2012 and others. It's pretty wild. All you have to do is be able to see it. And here's the beginning of this movie. As in the days of Noah, it will happen again today.
Needles in a heavenly haystack. There are more stars in the heavens than there are human beings on earth. Through telescopes, men of science constantly search the infinitesimal corners of our solar system, seeking new discoveries, hoping to better understand the laws of the universe. Observatories dedicated to the study of astronomy often are set in high and remote places, but there is none more remote than Mount Kenna Observatory in this part of South Africa.
If our calculations prove to be correct, this will be the most frightening discovery of all time. These two bodies have traveled almost 1 million miles in 2 weeks.
Is that Randall?
I hope so. Stanley, I want Randall to leave as quickly as possible.
All the plates are ready. Cataloged and marked for identification.
Here are tonight's plates, Doctor. Good, include them. I told Professor Hendren I'd send as much detail as we had. Paul, Stanley, it won't be necessary to tell Randall what he's carrying. Lyra is about the same size as our Earth. Both of these bodies are coming into our solar system. If Bronson's readings are correct, they will destroy the Earth.
How far away from us are they?
The calculator will be precise. I would estimate about 3 billion miles.
Billion? Well, let's see, we'll start worrying 100 years from now.
Mr. Randall, you've been flying ships faster than sound for many years. These bodies are moving thousands of times faster. They can be upon us in less than 1 year. Now, I repeat, all this depends on Bronson's findings being correct. The planet Zyra will pass very close to us, close enough to influence the tide. Oceans will be torn from their depths. Tidal waves hundreds of feet high will sweep in from the coast. There will be giant earthquakes. Handfuls of people may survive if provisions are made.
We'll make them. Every possible effort. Whatever help my factories can give, we will give gladly.
It will be useless. Soon after, Belus will come into direct collision with the Earth. Our world will end. There is no error.
असेंबली के चेयरमैन होने से मैंने एक बड़ा जिम्मेवारी का काम करना है। इससे मेरा ये मतलब नहीं कि मैं आप लोगों की साइंटिफिक सच्चाई पे कुछ सवाल करूं। मैं तो साइंटिस्ट नहीं हूं। इस वजह से मैं इस काबिल नहीं हूं कि आप लोग की बयान में कुछ शक करूं। मगर एक सवाल मैं जरूर करूंगा।
But I must ask one question that all the delegates here want answered. I hope I have your confidence. You are satisfied that there is no error?
आपके बयान बिल्कुल दुरुस्त हैं।
Yes, sir. The effect of Zyra's passing should be felt about 1 o'clock on the afternoon of July 24th. Monsieur le Président, je voudrais poser à notre docteur une question. What about the giant star Belus? Can the doctor tell us when the second body will threaten? 19 days later. Belus will crush the Earth on the morning of August 12th. This is not a publicity-seeking campaign. We are completely aware that most of our colleagues ridicule our findings. But believing what we do, we have no choice but to ask for this hearing.
Senhor Presidente, estamos aqui para dar a estes senhores as informações que nos pediram.
Therefore, I ask you, Dr. Hendon, if it is with complete certainty that you tell us the world will end on next August 12th.
Precisely, that's it.
Una civilización tan antigua como el mundo mismo, borrada del mapa, completamente destruida, aniquilada.
There is a possibility, a very remote one, that a few people may be saved.
The world will be destroyed, but a few people will be saved.
The world, our world, will come to an end on August 12th in slightly more than 8 months. There is no margin for error in that sense. But we believe that the planet Zyra once contained living matter. We believe, and this is theory, not certainty, that some form of vegetation may still exist on Zyra.
You are proposing that we all pack our trunks and move to Zyra?
No, sir. But we are hoping that, with God's help and guidance, a few people may do exactly that.
20th century Noah's Ark, huh?
Yes, one or more of them, as many as can be built in this short time. Eventually, as Zyra and Belus speed closer toward us, even a layman will be able to see the danger. Much as a train looms up in the distance, in an instant it is upon us. With enough funds, labor, and material, Dr. Fry believes that rocket ships can be built to fly to Zyra, which will be closest to us. But remember, 8 months is very little time for construction. Only if work begins immediately can this be done. If you wait until the danger is visible to the naked eye, it will be too late to escape. Belus and Zyra will be upon us and crush the Earth.
That is right. Dr. Oettinger of the Astrobrook Observatory. Gentlemen, my colleague, Dr. Felix Denter, Professor of Astronomy at Cornwall University, and Dr. Jonathan Wilson, President of the International Planetary Research Institute, and I have examined the photographs and data submitted by Drs. Hendon and Bronson. Our findings show there is no cause for alarm. No reason to spend billions of dollars to build space ships which never will be needed. And suppose they were built. Do either of you believe that space ships can fly to any planet?
It is theoretically possible.
I do believe in theories, Doctor. But when you tell me flying to another planet is a possibility, you're out of the realm of theory. You're in a dream world of the impossible.
And this is what it would look like when this passes by. If it doesn't hit us, it will be real close. And you'll see a red giant, well, actually a red dwarf star. It will be a giant, when you look at it, will come swooping by. And like in 2012, the movie, this type of stuff is going to happen, depending on where you're at. And this is just the passing of the planet that orbited it. And this is pretty wild in itself. I'm telling you now, prepare your mind and your soul. There's nothing you're going to be able to do if this does happen. And there's nothing at all that you can do except hope that we go from third density to the fifth density of reality. And it's a God-given thing. We all have sparks of God in us. All we have to do is focus on it. And if we do, the sons of God will survive. And the ones who are evil with the reptilians and the rest will fall. And they will experience another Noah, which will cause everything to happen as you see. These are things that I wish to report to you just so you won't worry and won't be upset when it happens. To be aware that this happens and not be surprised is one thing over the media keeping it quiet. Until next time, this is Spellbinder saying be good at it, and good day.